It is October 5th, and the Yankees have taken Game 1 of the ALDS. They beat the Minnesota Twins with a score of 10-4. Things went well. Let's talk about it. Let's talk all about it. Let's talk Yanks.
Steaming hot takes. Your Yankees news with these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy Jake.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Talkin' Yanks. My name is John Boy. I'm coming to you from New Jersey, and I got my best friend and co-host Jake wearing a Bronx Savages shirt, coming to you from Denver, Colorado. I can only see half your face, Jake. Come on.
Good.
It's your bad half.
Wish I could say the same back.
I want to see your hair.
No chance.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. Great Yankees win, and it kind of the win kind of went with a storyline that we were hoping that even if they match us kind of shot for a little bit, towards the end of games, we should have the upper hand in this series, and we did. And yeah, man, the zoo was rocking. I think when we were down 1-0 or 2-0 and DJ drops that pop-up, you're like, is this going to be one of these games that we just look back and it just didn't happen? And then when we went up 3-2, it was over in my head.
When we turned that double play, it was spooky shit when DJ dropped that ball. It was like looking bad. It was spooky. I was like, what the heck's this all about? Then we turned the double play to get out of it, immediately out of it. And the thing, I was live on Periscope, and we have so much game to get into, so I guess we'll pause real quick. I'm so excited. This episode of Talking Yanks, this very episode, the first postseason episode, Jake, is brought to the people. It's sponsored by Jonathan Fernandez. Jake Maple. Wow. That's James Paxton playing a joke on you and his nickname. It's combo.
His nephew.
Ben Ritzema, Michael Bracco, Danny Campes. That's stuffed grass-fed burger guy, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Campos. Nice. Sean Flynn, Carlos Rivera, Jordan Ozer, Eshraq Islam, Gary Dooley Jr., Not Always Sunny thing. Dooley. Dooley died. That's the Always Sunny scene. Michael Huntz and Brett Deutsch. Those are our most recent Patreon subscribers and supporters. They could be watching us live. We got a whole gang of people in the chat staying up late, excited to watch live and listen. Have some fun. Thank you for joining us. If you want to join, it's patreon.com/talkingyanks. All right. I'm clearly in a good mood. I'm hyper still. I'm excited. You want to burn this right away? What do you want to do?
We could burn it. I mean, we haven't gotten any. I feel like I want to ask how you are, but I can't ask you that without you diving into things. So I don't know what to do.
I'm really good. I'm excited.
Okay, done.
That's all I got. I've been sitting in this chair since 9 a.m. So what are we, 13 hours?
You didn't stand up once.
I mean, I did, but I would say 90% of the time I've been in this chair.
But just don't lie to the listeners, especially the Patreons who are live with us. The best time of year to be a Patreon. They're in here dancing, basically. Doesn't get better.
All right, let's burn game one.
Done.
On your mark. Get set. Burn.
Game one of the ALDS as the Minnesota Twinkies were hosted by the 27-time world champion New York Yankees with how about some maple syrup on your pancakes on a nice autumnal day? James Paxton, the Big Maple, versus Jose, Twigs, and Barrios as Minnesota tries to gather a win in the boogie down. Like pre-gaming with your buddies and they aren't home. How about a couple solo shots? Jorge Placido Polanco and Nelson Cruz's one out. A pair of runs for the Twins. Ha! Bottom three, show me your bird. Edwin's back. RBI double. Baby, baby, Glaby. Oh. 2-run score with a little error from CJ Crone. 3-2 Yanks. Minnesota would tie it in the fifth, but they pulled a Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. You gotta see the baby. The Venezuelan Victor. Gracias de Caracas. 2 RBI double for the kid. 5-3 Yanks, but you know the Twins aren't going to roll over as Miguel goes yard. But at 5-4, the Bombers would open up the floodgates. A go DJ, DJ. LeMahieu bomb. Red Solo Cup. Hey, I fill you up. It's a guarded party. He goes solo job as well. 7-4, then like punching your address into your Tesla. Let the machine bring you home. Bases clearing double for DJ 26 with another hit. The pitching goes Paxton to Vino to Canely to the Goose to Britton to Happer. Hey, Hap to Chappie. Pinstripes take game 1, 10-4 final.
Woo-hoo-hoo, Jake. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Had to, bro. Playoffs, man.
You did
Gotta
well.
bring it.
Congrats.
Gotta bring it.
There was one that I liked at the beginning, and I said, "Oh, remember that." And then there was many more I liked afterwards, and I forget them all now.
Perfect. The one I slaughtered, so I actually wasn't too excited when I initially wrote this. I liked Jose, Twigs, and Barrios as they try to gather a win. That's kind of a really dumb joke, but I like that. And then the one I slaughtered, I don't know if I've used this before, but pre-gaming when your buddies aren't home, a couple solo shots. So I don't know. Bad brain.
That was just my life from 22 to 24.
Yeah, that met you up there.
I don't know where to start.
Let's start at the beginning of the game.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Can we make a Show Me Your Bird shirt?
Yeah, absolutely.
With like a parrot on a shoulder and just says Show Me Your Bird underneath? Can we text that to our designer right now?
Yeah, sure. Done.
Show Me Your Bird is really cool. I like it. So
it's kind of a nickname for the penis, but
that's why it's funny, Jake.
Oh boy,
I knew that. That's why
we'll
it's funny.
Edit this out.
Show Me Your Bird. It's good stuff. All right. I don't really know where to start. I forget how we do postseason games. I'm fucking excited. I was so nervous. I'm pent up. Needed one game to go. There's things I'm nervous about, and I was nervous about, that kind of came true, and I'm glad I got those out of the way. And that was first playoff games. They always trip me up. If you've been listening to Talking Baseball, the pregame shows, anything, we had Paxton's first playoff game, and he did give up the solo homer in the first, like Jake predicted. Or you didn't predict, but you kind of threw it out there as a scenario.
I didn't predict. I mean, we've seen it more often than not.
Yeah.
You know?
And then Ottavino makes his first appearance. It was tough. He walks the batter and comes out, but he dipped his toes in. DJ LeMahieu, I don't know if he's been in the playoffs before. Probably has, right?
Well, it wasn't Vino's first playoff appearance, no.
Neither of those guys, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, first time in the Bronx.
Yeah.
DJ's first at-bat was so un-DJ-like. And then he drops the pop-up, and I was like, oh, my God, like, what's going on with DJ? Is he, like, overwhelmed right now? Because his first at-bat, he was swinging to hit, like, a Judge home run. I was like, you don't really see this a lot.
No, Jimmy. He told Paxton, my bad.
My bad.
I wanted to catch that pop-up.
You didn't see his post-game? He said, that's my worst nightmare. Missing a pop-up like that.
He's great. He had another electric interview after the game. He's just like, fans were good. Doesn't get better than postseason baseball. Ready to do it tomorrow.
Our friend Lindsay Adler, we were DMing one day about laughing about DJ, and I might have shared this already. She had a line. She said he's basically a walking do not disturb sign.
Yeah.
When he's in street clothes. It's just like, and not like in a mean or rude way. Just like, don't bother. I'm doing my own thing.
The highs and the lows of this couldn't interest me in the least.
Even keeled. All right, let's start from the top, Jake. Let's just go through the game, I guess.
Yeah. How were you? How were you by the beginning of the game?
Nervous
Yeah.
because we're better than the Twins,
Yeah.
and we should beat the Twins. And that scares me. It's the same way I was for the wild card game last year. It's like the A's aren't gonna they shouldn't beat us, but baseball's a fucked up sport sometimes. And then
Yeah. I don't think we get through this series clean. The Twins are a really good team. Nelson Cruz looks locked in. We saw what Sano does. Oh wow, what's that face, Jimmy?
they have fucking Dobnak pitching tomorrow.
You think it's a sweep? You think it's done?
If we beat Dobnak tomorrow, and then Severino's in Minnesota, yeah, I'm pretty
Wow.
cocky now. You know what? The valve opened, and it's like they announced Dobnak.
Yeah.
You got a B and an N right next to each other in his name. He's not that's the guy's gonna be so fucking nervous.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we got Tank. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a walkthrough. I mean, the Twins showed their power tonight. They're going to hit more home runs, cheap ones and not cheap ones. Odorizzi will be waiting in Minnesota, but I mean, look at the NLDS games today. If the score holds, Washington's up 3-1 on LA right now. All of the NLDS teams would have bounced back from the day before. So I don't think it's necessarily as easy as that sheepish grin you just showed all the Patreons.
Fucking Dobnak.
But
well, I mean, what's the best case? Dobnak goes 5 and holds us to 2 runs, and then what? They bring in the bullpen?
yeah, I mean we didn't see their best bullpen guys today. We saw one that they would go to with a lead, I think. So yeah, I mean we are the better team. There's no dancing around that. And I think for the Twins, they would need a big lead early to have a chance.
Yeah.
They would have to go up 5-1, 6-2, something like that. And do I think they'll do that? No. I mean, I obviously believe in Tanaka and I believe in me and Sevy on the road. But we're getting away from this game.
I was never that worried in this game. It was frustrating, but the first 2 innings we didn't score any runs, but they had runners on base both innings.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. People in my Periscope were trying to act all negative, we're not runners left in scoring position. We're 2 for 2 with putting guys on base. That's gonna convert.
Yeah, and I think the normal fear is because the first inning is always your best chance to score. You got the top of your lineup coming out, the pitcher's not settled in, and we worked Barrios 24 pitches. Giancarlo, he swings at the 3-0 tapper that. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If that was the best pitch he gets, you look back and say, should G have been taken 3-0? He swings at it. He almost beat it out anyways. It was kind of weird that his running was the worst we've seen this year.
Well, he's injured.
I know, but in the other games, he was running better than today.
Was he? I don't remember him.
In my opinion, I believe so.
I don't remember ever seeing him go full tilt since he's been back. It's only been a couple games.
Yeah, I know. I thought he was moving a lot better in the other ones.
Oh, I don't remember him legging anything out. But I was happy with him swinging 3-0. I'm fine with it. I mean, the result was bad, but he got 2 to drive in. Drive him in. You should get a cookie. The pitch had a lot of run to it, and it started in the zone and jammed him. Bad result. I don't care that he was aggressive in that situation at all. Happy about it.
He was the 5-hole hitter looking to drive in runs. That's what we ask former NL MVP Giancarlo Stanton to do, and he looked great tonight. So good for him.
Yeah. I mean, as we're on Giancarlo, maybe we'll just do this naturally. Go through guys. Giancarlo was 3 walks. He was spitting on every low and away breaking ball. And if you see the graph, I retweeted it. Yankee Source tweeted it. That's all he got. He got 2 pitches in the zone all game.
Yeah.
And he was very patient and just took him. He looked great. He didn't look good playing left field, and I think Cameron Maben defensive replacement's going to be a thing this postseason. If that's
Absolutely, and I saw a couple people calling for it in the fifth, and it's going to be one of the more fun Yankee juggles this year because anytime you could get one more at bat out of Giancarlo Stanton, it's going to be worth it. That's not a shot fired at Cameron Maybin, as you listeners know. I love Cameron Maybin, but he's Giancarlo Stanton. I think we kind of forget that because he has been almost a bonus piece this year. But yeah, he had 3 of the walks. The Yankees had 8 total, and the only guy that was walking people / shook was Zach Little. He came in and he only walked 1 guy. So I don't know. I think this was I think one of the big takeaways, and it's something we've heard all year: control the zone, savages in the box, whatever you want to call it. The Yankees say you have to throw it in the zone, and if you do, we're going to do damage to it. And that's what tonight looked like.
Yeah. Hey, while we're on Stanton, I know that you loved like him throwing the bat after the walks and just how into it and excited and his mannerisms have been.
I just think there's a great parallel there between kind of the love Boone has gotten this year. Like Boone showed a little more passion and all of the injuries and stuff. And think about where we've come 365 days later on Aaron Boone. We weren't sure about some of his bullpen stuff. We didn't think the Cali vibe thing was going to work. Then this year comes around and we love Aaron Boone. He's hit all the right buttons at all the right time, it seems. Giancarlo Stanton, man, the emotions of baseball and like having the game taken away from him. He's a guy that makes what, $30 million a year, who's a former MVP, and he's stoked he's out there taking walks. Yeah, man, pump that into my veins all day.
Yeah, I love the bat toss. It was a little Tim Anderson-esque. It's like a get off me.
Feeling the crowd. He's basically telling the pitcher, yeah, dude, you don't want to pitch to me. I'm a bad man.
All right, let's go down the line. Paxton. Let's do Paxton.
Yes.
2 solo shots. One was a cheapie. We play in Yankee Stadium. You can't really complain. I thought he looked really sharp in the first inning. Besides the home run, I thought his breaking pitch was really good. That back foot curveball. He threw a 3-2 back foot curveball to Cruz when he walked him. That Cruz laid off, and I was happy with it. I was like, fine, that's fine. Like, you're not going to give him a 3-2 fastball, and Cruz was smart to take it. So I was live for that inning, and I was like, it's a little shaky because now we got to run on first, but I thought the pitching was good. I thought he looked crisp. I thought the second inning he looked worse. I think he got through it. Or did he give up one more run in the second?
In the second, he got through it, and then in the third, Nelson Cruz hit the Oppo Taco shot.
I actually thought the second. The second, I don't know why. I don't remember what happened, but I was like, oh damn, is he like shook a little bit, or is he like nervous? Just didn't seem the same. I forget exactly what happened, but he gets out of it.
Second inning was the Kepler ground out. Marwin hit a double, and then there was the pop out to LeMahieu, and then the double play.
So maybe the Marwin double. I was like, double plays are huge. I mean, being able to have a third baseman. Like last year, you were guffawing over Bregman and all these third basemen that can make good plays, and now we have them. Like, don't discredit that double play in the second inning. It was first and second with 1 out after a brutal error. And Gio and Glaber turned that double play with ease, and it was a short pick for Gio. It's not an exceptional play. It's not going to be SportsCenter top 10, but it's not made last year.
No, and you and I it was an eye-opening sharp stats this year. We deep dove into some of Gio's like double play ball numbers and things like that and compared them to Andahar, and it was eye-opening. And shout out to KT Sharp. I know she's in the midst of moving right now. We'll link up with her soon. I'm sure she's listening. She might be pretty close to me. I think she's in the Denver area. But yeah, it can't go underestimated how Gio's third base, man, just changes a game. Mm-hmm. Now look at the ball that went off Sano's glove today.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. First inning, or how do we score the first runs? I'm trying to just walk through the game. Judge was on base a lot. I thought Judge is amazing. I mean, I gave the whole spiel on Judge last episode. Judge comes to in the playoffs. If you could put together, he's played like 19 games in the playoffs between diving catches, home run robbing catches, good base running, and good hitting. Judge is, I mean, it's just one game. Hopefully it continues, but so far in the playoffs, Judge is amazing. And his walks were really good. He was down 0-2 in that first at bat, Jake, and Berrios just didn't want to get him out in the zone. He wanted Judge to chase. And Judge said, no, not interested. And took the walk.
I think that's it's kind of what I was saying before. If you're the Twins and you're going back to the drawing board, if you get to 3-2, you have to come in the zone because the Yankees proved they will take their walks. They took 8 of them.
Yeah.
And there was only one guy that looked like he was wild. He gave up one of the 8 walks. So that'll be an interesting adjustment. And Jim, the other thing that was huge in the first inning was Encarnacion.
First pitch. First pitch, baby.
Why wouldn't he? He's just incredible. He's the guy. I don't even know how you describe it. Like there's some guys that have to go through their 6-hour routine and get loose. Edwin Encarnacion's the guy that's going to show up to Old Timers Day, not stretch, and hit one out of the park.
Edwin Encarnacion, the team wanted him to play in Texas. The team said he's fine. Edwin said, nah, I don't want to risk getting hurt in Texas, so just save me for the postseason. I swear I'm good. And then he comes back, and he's good. He's the most honest person about his body ever.
First pitch. First pitch.
And dude, I didn't know he was going to bring that kind of energy after at bats, like the screaming, the yelling, you've been falling in love with Edwin. I tweeted out he has my whole heart.
You saw it tonight.
Show me your bird.
You saw what it is. It's this unbelievable old man swag. You saw him pull up when we went to Cece's event in that like Batmobile thing. He's a special dude. And so, in the first inning, we were looking to fight back. Stanton gets the 3-0 pitch. It is what it is. Second inning, we mentioned that was the LeMahieu pop-up. We get the double play ball to get out of it. Bottom second for the Yanks. Gary took a walk. Otherwise, nothing really. No. And then top third, Nelson Cruz hits the opposite field homer.
2-0 now. 2-0 with the bad Giancarlo 3-0 play, the replay. So this was the darkest times. The error, the Giancarlo thing, and now it's 2-0, and you're thinking, oh shit, this is funky. And the Yankees put a 3 spot up in the third right away.
Yeah. LeMahieu single, Judge single, Gardy lined out to right, and then Encarnacion another double.
Well, hold on. The Gardy at bat was a 6-pitch at bat that ended with a sacrifice fly, which got DJ to third, which was not the tying run, it was the first run. So it was a productive long at bat from Gardner.
Yeah, and it's again, playoff at bats. It's important. It's important if you're having good at bats, and after Gardy's first at bat, he struck out swinging on a changeup that hit the plate. You were kind of like, okay, a lot of eyes are on Gardy because he's between all these mammoths, and if you haven't been locked into the season, there's people questioning it. After he gave that second at bat, it's like, okay, Gardy's here, and Encarnacion another double because why not? Stanton with a nice walk, and then Glaby baby with the fielder's choice. CJ Crone, if this was talking Twins right now, he'd be on the hot seat because it's one of those catch the ball type things, but I'll take it.
Edwin Encarnacion's doing his post-game interview. I can't hear it. I can just see it. And I got to pause it. He just made a face you're going to love. I got to make a gif out of that face. I got him pause it.
Do it.
He looks like the uncle at the barbecue that doesn't get out of his chair, but talks to everyone.
He is that. He doesn't look like that. He is that.
He just sits in his folding chair, and as people walk by, he says what he needs to say.
Talk to him.
You go talk to him.
If you don't, you're in trouble.
Yes, you have to go say hi to Uncle Edwin. You bring your significant other to the barbecue. And you're like, hey, we have to go say hi to my Uncle Edwin. And they're like, here. He's like, well, he's not really my uncle, but everyone calls him uncle in the neighborhood. And if we don't say hi to him, it's a big sign of disrespect. So just can you come with me to say hi to Uncle Edwin? And you go over there, and he's like hammered, drunk, and silly. He's like, hey, thanks for coming on. Okay.
Kisses your girlfriend on the lips. Like,
hands you like 2 beers. It's like, yeah. So he's cool. He's a cool guy. Anyway, the Glaber thing is what we said about the different at bats our lineup gives this year with DJ, with Brett in the middle, because Brett was like Kutch was playing last year. He took walks, but it's more balls in play, and that's that Glaber. He had a good at bat. He puts the ball in play, and they make an error, and that helps. We're the Kansas City Royals of 2015.
And that kind of at bat you were talking about, it just the Twins relievers that started coming in were all 2-pitch dudes except Gibson at the end, but that's something else. But like if the Yankees saw enough of their pitches, they were able to recognize and either spit on the slider, and if they got the fastball, they turned on it. And I don't know if you're the Twins bullpen today. I think we love saying his name because it's one of the most ridiculous names in baseball. But Brusdar Graterol is the only guy with like plus stuff, but he's a 22-year-old kid.
He looked good though, 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, and you saw like it's a total playoff moment. You saw that light bulb kind of go off in his head, like, oh, I can. If I throw this 100-mile-per-hour fastball in the right spot, I can control this whole stadium.
Yeah.
So we're on Brusdar watch.
Let's finish the offense, and then we'll do all the pitching changes and Boone's decisions. But let's just finish how we scored first.
Okay.
Because if we keep going,
sixth inning was the nuke. Well, actually, no. Glaber was the nuke in the fifth.
In the fifth inning, yeah. In the fifth inning, you had Judge walked. Gardner hit by pitch, those dirt bags.
Yeah. He loved it.
No, he was mad because he saw 6 at pitches his first at bat. He saw 6 pitches his next at bat. Prides himself on seeing pitches, and you're not going to let him see any more pitches? And he was ahead in the count 2-0. So Gardner was actually hoping, like, give me that 2-0 fastball. You think you can sneak by me, but you can't. Been happening all season, and then they just fucking plunk him. Edwin struck out. Edwin's first 2 at-bats were hits, Jake. All of his other at-bats, I don't think he didn't swing at a pitch. He was the uncle at the barbecue that hogs the wiffle ball bat and swings at every pitch thrown until he, like, connects with one. He was just, like, Nestor was making fun of him. He was, like, swinging up above his head, swinging to low, but whatever. And then Stanton walks again. And then Glaber, with the best at-bat of the game, in my opinion, he was down. He works it to 3-2. He took a lot of really close pitches. I was live on Periscope. My brain was moving around like a mousetrap because that 3-2 bases loaded pitch is wild. Are you going to put one in the zone? Because you don't want to walk him, but Glaber knows you don't want to walk him, so he might be swing happy. Throws the curveball, and Glaber just fouls it back. Now you have to throw the fastball. Glaber rockets it to Sano off his glove. 2-run score. Fantastic.
Yeah, and it was if looking at the pitch chart right now, everything was away. Slider for the 2 pitches before, and then he came in 95, and Glaber turned on it down the line. It goes off Sano's glove. Not that it was an easy play, but I don't know if I'd put money on Gio Urshela making it 6 out of 10, but in no way was it an easy play. And yeah, I mean that made it 5-3, and we knew that our bullpen was already in the game, and it was like, all right, we are in full control of this game.
Full control. And then next inning, DJ homer, Brett homer, just to shove it in their faces. The 2 non-power guys. Or the 2 guys the Twins would say, like, well, they're not the big, strong dudes. And then Didi, and then later on, Stanton walks, Glaber walks, Didi with the really good at-bat, which he needed. He didn't get a hit, but he gets the walk, and DJ comes through with the bases-clearing double because DJ's insane, and that's the offense.
Yeah, I was going to say, Francesor came out with a tweet after the game and was like, Didi looks bad. And it's like, that last walk was a great at-bat, dude.
It was, but he looked very, very bad in his at-bats.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those first 2 at-bats weren't pretty. He had the fluky foul tip, if you remember that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that last at-bat was good Didi. I mean, 8 pitches. He fouled off a couple balls. So, yeah, if that could get him going. And, again, like if Didi doesn't get super going, a reminder that the comparison I'm using is 2017 Hicks in center over Ellsbury. Like, Didi's in there for defense at this point. Any of the offense is bonus point. And at the same time, you can expect some offense because it's going to come at some point. So, yeah, nice walk by Didi. Urshela flied out, and DJ just opens it up, double down the line.
Yeah, my thing that I was preaching on the live stream was that Didi and Gary looked pretty bad at the plate. The amount of players we had that looked locked in was more than the players that looked bad. I mean, you're never going to get 9 out of 9, so we'll take it. And Didi and Gary found ways to contribute without getting hits. Like Gary's play where he grabbed that ball before it went foul and threw it the first, like it was the routine fucking normal play, was really good. He's pretty good behind the dish. He did have a walk earlier. Didi has a walk, scores a run. And then Gio Urshela, he did the same thing. He didn't have a hit, but I'm telling you, don't overlook that double play in the second.
Yeah, and Gary's going to catch one this series. I thought
he had a really, yeah.
He turned on an inside pitch. It wasn't the full foul ball indicator, but it was Gary's hands were quick. And that's when Gary's at his hottest, Gary gets his hands on an inside fastball, and you're like, whoa. Like, I thought you asked him.
I'm happy you noticed that because there's a lot of guys in the Patreon chat. They started a DM group on Twitter.
Yeah.
I wasn't in there because I was doing my own things, but I jumped in to say one thing, and I said, that was Gary's best swing of the night. I like it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because it was like, oh, there's a little sprinkle of the Gary I know.
Quick hands.
Yeah.
That's when Gary's at his most special, you could throw any inside fastball and he'll turn it around, and he did that. So it's nothing special yet, but it's a holy shit. Washington put Scherzer in.
Yeah, well, they have no bullpen. It's a throw day. It's a throw day for him.
Great.
I mean, they used Doolittle already. My best friend Gavin Lux is up, and it's probably a throw day, right? An off day tomorrow. So yeah,
I love it.
Well, you need to. I mean, they need to win this game. I like it too.
Yeah,
that's kind of a good transition into how Boone used the pitching, and maybe we'll drop some ads right here if we have any. Okay, let's get into how Boone used the pitching. I loved it. It was a little unorthodox, Jake. Our biggest gripe last year was that he didn't attack the game and the moment, and he saved. Now, some people were saying Paxton shouldn't have faced Polanco again. I didn't feel that strongly about that. But what I've been what I said a couple times over the course of the season is secure the lead when you have it and hope you get add-on runs, and then you can use the bad guys. Because sometimes, you would have brought, if you're thinking about using Hap out of the pen, you would have brought Hap in earlier in the game. But then what if you lose the lead? So that's what I've been saying all season. Anyone that listens closely, use your good guys when you got the lead, and hopefully you add on to that lead, and then you can use the bad guys. He did say that if they didn't score those runs in the 8th inning, or 7th inning, it was going to be Britton and Chapman for the 8th. They're going to combo it.
Right. Try to get 9. Would have tried to get 9 outs out of Britton and Chapman, which, hey, Britton's a sinker baller, so he can get you a couple outs quick. It would have been interesting. Doesn't become a factor because the Yankees do open it up. And, yeah, so that 5th inning, Paxton strikes out Crone. Arise. He hits the double to left that was just out of Stanton's reach. That, again, like probably a healthy Stanton gets. It is what it is. A healthy Arise probably gets to third. That was actually kind of a lighthearted moment in the game. They're like, neither of these guys can run right now. It's a little beer league softball moment. But then, so this was the conversation. So you got a runner on second, one out. Garver's coming up. He was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So you're probably going to let Paxton go at him. And then Polanco is a much better hitter versus right-handed pitching. His OPS is about $150 higher.
That's
so
what Boone said in the postgame. They said, we want to keep him on that side of the plate.
At that point, Polanco had clipped him, sure, but it was one pitch, and it was first inning Paxton. And right now, as we saw, they don't trust Adam Ottavino against a good lefty hitter.
They never really have. So,
I mean, in April they did when he was there, like, all do everything fireman. But yeah, so I realized they were going to give him Polanco there, and this is a classic. If Paxton gets one more out, if he got Polanco there, it's 5 innings, 2 earned runs. We're giving Paxton claps. Great first playoff start. Instead, Polanco gets him on the 3-2 curve. He has to come out of the game. And then this is where the conversation starts because Ottavino, Nelson Cruz with a really good at-bat, but Ottavino ends up walking him. They go to Canely instantly. He gets Rosario on the first pitch.
Then he gives up a homer.
And then he gives up a homer, and that was pretty funny. You and I
that first pitch got rocked.
It was the end of the bat.
Squared up. No, I thought he squared him up.
And then so we jump to the 6th. Canely's only throwing one pitch, and we were discussing this because we were trying to figure out the rest of the bullpen innings. Are they going to unleash the goose for a couple? I liked it because I was like, hey, if you're careful with Sano, you're going to have lefty with Kepler and Marwin, the switch hitter. Not careful enough with Sano. He porches one, and then Kepler walks, and then there's had to be some question if you're going to leave him in. They do, and he does strike out Marwin. They go to Chad. Chad gets the last 2 outs.
Chad, ground out, pop out. What did he throw, like 6 pitches?
Let's see. He threw 5 to Crone and 3 to Arise. So 8.
So they could have used Chad for another, but I guess they're really – maybe that's the one conservative thing they did because they want Chad to be the opener.
Yeah, but I mean, that would still even be, 2 days away?
At the end of the 6th inning, what was the score? 7-4, so it was a 3-run game, and they went to Britain. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of that's the one that's kind of confusing me. Like, you could have went to Chad again.
Yeah, that is the one that kind of jumps out. I mean, maybe because they've had extra rest, they've been planning on kind of doing a Britain chappy 9 innings if they needed to. Maybe this was a test and they had Hap ready if they needed it. I don't know. And maybe they are trying to save Chad Green's bullets because they want to use him as an opener and in game 4. Or, I mean, Chad Green right now is a huge piece of this bullpen. If we have a starter who doesn't have it,
Chad
Green's the connect the dot.
Yeah, it's true. Were you overall happy with the way the bullpen was used?
Yeah, I think it was funny that there was that moment of chaos. Like, wait, we're short a guy, Boone. you're missing an inning. I think that was kind of funny across Yankee land, but
I got so many tweets. Who's going to pitch the 8th? Who's going to pitch the 8th? Fucking wait and find out.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
It ended up working out, and I mean, I'll say this. If it was a 3-run game and Happer comes in and puts a couple runners on in the 8th, there would have been a lot of eyes raised, but the score was busted out to 10-4 by then. It's not even a discussion. They probably would have left Britain anyways. And then I think this is the final piece, and I feel like you and I are in on this together, but some people were questioning throwing Chapman in the 6-run game. But with his layoff, get him in there, let him twirl it.
There's a game tomorrow, and then there's an off day, and he can pitch 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that was like I didn't think there was an option that Chapman doesn't pitch the 9th. Even I don't care if it was 6 runs. Like that never crossed my mind. Like, oh, maybe they won't use Chapman because it's 6 runs. Use Chapman. Win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only debate that people could use that you'd say, like, all right, that's a decent point, is that it is an earlier game tomorrow. So, I mean, if it's a 1-run game and Chapman doesn't have his A+ stuff, people are going to point to that, but win the game.
Win the game. Win the game. I thought I liked it. I liked it. I liked how Boone managed it. I liked the double steal by Cameron Maben, the pinch run by Cameron Maben, and then the double steal. Even like Costas in the booth were like, oh, they're really putting pressure on him. They're not like letting this just, fizzle out and they have the big lead now. I was like, no, fuck no.
So do you think that was like full throttle, like put our foot on their throat? Or do you think that was almost like, hey, let's test it? Because I think I lean the latter.
I think it's this is a close game. Let's like Cameron Maben, you're in here, you're on this team for speed. So let's go.
Okay, yeah. I think it was more of a, hey, let's try this now with a 3-run lead against the Twins if we need to use this in a tie game against Houston or something like that. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it either way.
Yeah.
I think that kind of wraps up the game, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who didn't we really hit. We hit everyone in the lineup, and we hit all the pitchers too. Are we doing a little thing for tomorrow, or
we'll do it on the pregame show?
Okay.
Tune in.
Tanaka versus Dobnak.
Dobnak.
It sounds like you're not a Dobnak guy.
He's got a B and an N right next to each other in the middle of his name.
Yeah, that's kind of it for you, huh?
Yeah.
End of discussion.
I mean, he could go by Dobby, but we already got a Bobby Dobby.
Bobby Dobby.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel good. I'll be nervous again tomorrow. In general, I forget how taxing postseason is. Like, it's 3rd inning, and I'm doing periscopes about every fucking pitch. And then the sequencing and the decision making. And then, like, Costas, hey, listen, guys, Costas is a John Boy Media fan, so don't talk bad about him.
Yeah. You could talk tasteful, because there was a point when it was like, Bobby, like, yes, there's a lot of 3-2 counts. Like, we get that this is 2019 baseball. Like, Bob kept reminding himself that this is new age baseball, not the listeners.
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, anyway, it's a dear friend of ours.
Yeah.
But dude,
Jeff Passan are friends now.
Saw that. Saw
Jeff
you. Yeah, he wrote about us in the article. Now you're friends with him.
I owe him a beer at winter meeting, so.
I mean, yeah, let's do that.
Gonna need the company card.
Yeah, you're going crazy on some scout. You were like burning his images and stuff, and didn't you do
dude, and I mentioned this to you, and you and I, every now and then I still pop on ESPN, and I was reading one of the ESPN playoff articles. Actually hoping to get tidbits on the other teams for talking baseball stuff, just to see if anything good popped up. So I checked on the Yankees, and they were like, yeah, actually, a couple scouts said that DJ LeMahieu's an easy out as long as you jam him inside. And I was like, yeah, babe, try that. The dude is one of the toughest outs in baseball.
Can you imagine? That scout's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I was watching some film on DJ LeMahieu. It turns out he's an easy out. Oh, yeah. You're special eyes. You're the only person.
If you catch him with 98 up and in and he's not looking for it, you could get him.
Yeah. What a dumb scouting report. I'd cancel that scout.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if you jam someone, you can get them out. Yeah. That's the fucking goal.
This is a real dumb. Passan's got to change his scouts.
Yeah. So Friends.
Katie Sharp just dropped Randy Dobnak's baseball reference onto my timeline.
Sorry. Did you know he's the dude that used to drive Uber in the off season?
Yeah, I know about Dobby, okay?
Yeah.
I know all about him. Do you know that?
Started in high A.
Do you know that he's a rookie that only has like a handful of games to his name? And he's supposed to take the ball in the zoo?
He was solid, and the Yanks haven't seen a lot of them.
How many starts do you think he has in his major league career? Don't Google it. Don't cheat.
He has 6.
5.
Pretty close.
5 starts in his major league career.
Oh, no.
You seen his picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that's what you just saw. With the glasses? Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow might be a bad day for Randy Dobnak fans.
That's what I'm telling you, Jake.
If you're Randy Dobnak's parents and you're listening to this, don't go to the game tomorrow.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
He's not prepared. He's got a mustache because it's fun. He's got an ironic mustache. Anyone that has an ironic mustache ain't made for the zoo. Go to the Spam Museum. Crack some jokes. This is the Bronx. And your name's Randy Dobnak, and you wear glasses. He's like Tyler Clipper's brother who thinks he's badass. Just get me off this. Don't Google Randy Dobnak. Images.
Yeah, and I'm not in the advanced stats, but I think they'd be against Randy Dobnak to a degree. I don't know. Maybe he'll fool us tomorrow and he's got some voodoo going on, but the Twins need like a 4-run lead in the 6th inning to have a chance.
Oh my God. Did you see who he's made starts against?
I mean, it's a lot of good teams, right, Jim?
So he opened against the Red Sox. He got one inning, walk and a strikeout. That's fine. Then he opened against the Cleveland Indians. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. That's not good. Okay. Then he has 3 legit starts to his name. One's against the Detroit Tigers, one's against the Kansas City Royals, and one's against Cleveland Indians, who he did pretty good against. That's a good start. They were a team in the hunt. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, only struck out 2, 1 walk. That's a good start. I mean, come on.
I mean, Jim, he's pitched against one playoff team. It was 1 inning against Washington. He gave up a home run.
We're doing bad things. We got to stop.
You think we crossed into jinx territory?
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with
You crossed me into confident territory, and I think you're in jinx territory. So I'm feeling good.
I'm glad I got you in the confident territory. All you need to do is Google image his face.
See, that's the bad stuff. That's the bad stuff.
Yeah, well, maybe he's a friend of the program, like Bob Costas.
10,000% confidence in Tank.
Yeah, I love Tanaka, dude. So, I mean, big Tanaka fan. And you know who else is a fan of the program? Josh Reddick.
Yeah?
He was liking tweets about the zoo today, which is odd because he's on the Astros.
He likes Joe's.
Well, he saw that because I retweeted it, and it was just up the zoo. Yeah. All right, that ends this episode. We're kind of winding down anyway, naturally. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. To our patrons who are watching live with us, 56 of you. Appreciate that at
It goes
1 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow. Pre-game show before the game. Go to your podcast app. Go to Talking Yanks pre-game show. It's a whole separate podcast. Subscribe. We have a lot of fun on there. Or you can watch it on YouTube live. You don't need Patreon. Anyone can watch it. That's about all. Jake, anything you want to say?
I mean, just got genius idea came into my head. A shirt for dogs that says "Snossages" in the box.
Snossages. What about show me your bird?
Show me your bird. I texted the guy. He might be in bed, but
Okay, cool. Good.
and I didn't give him any info. I just said I told him show me your bird. So
he's just gonna respond to you a
yeah,
picture of his bird.
yeah, I might just
Nice parakeet.
be waking up to the birds. Thanks, everyone. Check out Talking Baseball too. Tell a friend.
See ya. Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams. Hoo-wee. She's the girl for me. I love her tenderly. All right, what's up, patrons? Whole bunch of you hanging out with us late night. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Did any of you guys... We're not live anymore, so it's not Jinx territory. Did any of you guys Google Randy Dobnak? What's he expected to go tomorrow, Jake?
5 innings.
They're expecting that? Whatever. Maybe he shuts us down, and it's one of those like, how are we turning Randy Dobnak into Cy Young?
Frustrating guy we haven't seen a lot.
Yeah.
Randy Dobnak. Yeah, I mean his last three games have been 74, 74, 78. So they've probably got an 80 pitch limit on them.
How long did Barrios go?
Barrios went. I get those simple Barrios necessities. Did he go 5? Did he give him 5? Or no, he went 4, right?
Yeah.
Because that was controversial in Twinsland, yeah. Because he went 88 pitches, 4 innings, but his 4th inning was 1, 2, 3.
And then they took him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Barrios. Who's the color guy that was with Casas?
Smoltz?
Was it Smoltz?
Yeah.
When I do these games and I'm like periscoping, like I really don't listen that much to the broadcaster, but he said something at one point. Smoltz was like, he's starting his breaking ball so low that it's just so obvious it's a breaking ball that you're gonna not swing at it. And every righty on the Yankees didn't swing at it. The only people that fell for that off speed was Didi and Gardy at the beginning. Everyone else, if he was getting him out, it was with that 2-seamer, which had a really good run to it.
Yeah, Smoltz has some good analysis, but he gets caught trying to be an announcer, and he'll say corny stuff, and you're like, dude, that's terrible. But yeah, Costas like kept banging the drum on new baseball, and he's like, and Barrios had a 1, 2, 3 inning, and he's 88 pitches, and now the bullpen's getting knocked around. If you're the Twins, do you regret taking him out? And Smoltz was just kind of like blatant. He's like, no, man, like no one was into his off-speed stuff. It was going to be his 3rd time through the lineup. Like he was probably going to get shelled too.
Yeah, Casas at the end was he was talking about how long the game had been. He's like, they're trying to speed up the game, but we got 8 walks, and I was like, well, I'm very biased, but I was like, I thought it was like gripping baseball through and through.
Yeah, he was doing the whole like he was saying in that, what was it, the 8th inning, he's like, we've had 0 contact, 3 walks and 2 mound visits, and it's like, yeah,
good pitching though. It's good.
Tell the Twins to throw strikes so we could hit homers.
Yeah. Chris Lagasse says Joe Buck is the absolute worst. He's my favorite. Mark Scalzo just Googled Randy Dobnak images, says ha ha. What's going on? I like Buck for baseball, but not football. Yeah, I don't really I don't really like. I wouldn't be able to have an opinion on him in football. I don't. That's so different of a watch for me. Like I don't really hone in on the announcers if I watch a football game.
Yeah.
Baseball, it feels like you're with them. Like you're in their conversation.
Football, it's all about the color guys for me. Like when Romo came in and started like diagnosing plays before it happened, it was like, oh, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. So now they got Hudson in. And Turner.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Do you think Didi will be benched for Voigt tomorrow? What's Dobnak? No, I don't think so. But
No.
what's Dobnak throw?
I mean, I'm clicking on a lot of things right now.
Is he a righty? I guess I could find it too.
Throw Scherzer out for the second. I don't know. Scherzer struck out the side.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do Scherzer for 2.
Or if you're going to use Scherzer, use him in the 9th even.
No, I'm fine with depends on who was up in the 9th, like who he faced. I would have to know that.
Well, I mean, right now it's Turner and Pollock.
Dobnak's a right-handed pitcher, so Didi's going to play.
Didi's going to play. That last at-bat had some life. The first 2 at-bats weren't pretty, but there was also some bad baseball luck there.
Do you expect a new lineup tomorrow?
No, right?
I expect them to just run it back.
Yeah, it worked. Scored 10.
Yeah. Would you be upset if Voigt's in there and Didi's not?
A little bit, yeah. I don't want shortstop on Glaber's mind until I need Glaber at shortstop.
I agree with that. Yeah, actually don't move Glaber around is like a cool part of it. I expect the same exact lineup.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd do. And I think it's like no one is going to have a problem with that.
No.
Like no one's going to complain.
It's one game, and Gio's the only guy that didn't get on base, and we clearly need him at third.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that would probably be the thing I think we're closest to. If Gio has another 0-4, maybe they consider DJ at third and Voigt at first.
Yeah. Oh, Sean says we didn't talk about that not a foul tip and Judge's at bat. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
They just need to like, why can't you challenge stuff?
Right.
Because that's not a foul tip. I think it's funny that like so many people want to scream and yell about how overrated Judge is. But like, what could you say about this game? He was a fucking stud.
Yeah.
You think it's weird that like Nestor is in the dugout, but Clinton got sent home?
A little bit. I'll say this, with all the peace treaty stuff they've been doing with Clint, now I'm surprised they sent him home.
What peace treaty stuff have they been doing?
Oh, dude, just like since the trade deadline, they've been buddy and like posting nice stuff about Clint and Boone. They called him up right when they expanded to 40-man, and they were talking about how he's like an important guy, and like they'd been a lot more chummy than they'd been. And then when they were announcing everyone, and they're like Kyle Higashioka, Nestor Cortez, I was like, damn, if you're Clint Frazier at home watching Nestor Cortez and Higgy get in love.
Yeah, I don't think they've been buddy with Clint. Like, they called him up because it would have been drama and a headline if they didn't, is what I think. They called him up right away. Because if they didn't, they would have had to answer questions, and that's exactly why they don't like having Clint. It's because they have to answer questions. And then the Yes Network stuff, like Cashman and Yankees have nothing to do with what they tweet.
Right, but I think even Cashman and Clint have come out with better quotes about each other since the trade deadline because everyone thought they were going and then it didn't happen.
I still think he's probably going. But
We thought that at the deadline too. What's his
Clint,
value?
nothing. Well, doesn't have value.
Yeah.
What's his value to the Yankees? Just keep him in the minors again?
If he grows up, he could be something.
There's guys in the clubhouse that don't like him. He's been asked to leave the dugout in the clubhouse for this run.
Yeah.
When you have a bunch of other guys that aren't on the roster that are just hanging out, being all friendly, getting announced.
Right, but I think there's also Rendon. But there's also like Higgy's there because if one of the catchers get hurt, they IL them and Higgy's on the team. Like Nestor's there if one of the arms gets hurt, like Nestor's kind of next in line, I think.
Is Talkman hanging out?
I think Talkman was there, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of guys.
I think Talkman thinks he can come back.
Clint is in the same boat. That's what I'm saying.
No, but Mike Talkman's a good player on the team.
Yeah. What would be the reason to not have Clint be around?
He doesn't have a chance on playing on the postseason.
Yeah.
Same reason they sent Tyro home.
I think Nestor's the same way.
I think Nestor, it sucks to say, but Nestor's an oddly close injury away from being in the bullpen.
You think so? You think he jumps Tarpley and Heller and Gearin? I don't think so. I hope not.
As a long person, yeah. He's stretched out.
That's true. I just think it's odd that, he's not around. Well, I don't think it's odd because we know that.
Yeah.
we know he's not liked in the room.
Yeah. Why have him?
So, I think it's telling. That sucks. You excited for
Wade they like Tyro, but they just know he's not going to play.
Yeah, and maybe they sent him to go get at bats somewhere still, since he got injured at some point. Who knows? But it's weird that you see a lot of guys in the dugout, and Clint got sent home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think we're done. We're out, patrons. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. For real. There's still 46 chilling. Cool. Love you guys. Chris Cooper says, love the deep dive discussion on this. Yeah, that conversation can only really happen on Patreon because so many people get mad whenever we talk about Clint. We like you guys. You're here, which means you like us too, I guess. Aren't going to be mad.
If you're here, that means you want more.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Have a good night.